I think the simplest way I can describe it is that songwriting is the manifestation of ideas, thoughts, and feelings through an artist. Ultimately, you want to learn how to never run out of good ideas. Remaining aware, deploying empathy, and remaining detached will allow you to jump from one great idea to the next. Hello, and welcome to Your Band is a Brand, a podcast established to bring bands, brands, and businesses together to help independent artists grow and scale their business in the music industry. I am your host, David Key, and today we'll be talking about songwriting, or as I like to call it, capturing the collective consciousness. We'll talk about how to channel your creativity and self-expression to help you capture your best work. And in talking about songwriting, I felt the need to quote the late, great Tom Petty. Music is probably the only real magic I have encountered in my life. There's not some trick involved with it. It's pure and it's real. It moves, it heals, it communicates, and does all these incredible things. Channeling your creativity and self-expression through songwriting takes an appreciation and an acceptance of a process that is hard to fully comprehend. Songwriting is a mystery to most, even those who do it regularly. I've heard artists describe melodies or lyrics coming to them seemingly out of nowhere. I think the simplest way I can describe it is that songwriting is the manifestation of ideas, thoughts, and feelings through an artist. There are stories as old as time that follow similar patterns and archetypes. This is because everyone living in our universe is having a shared experience. Collective consciousness is defined as a set of shared beliefs, ideas, and moral attitudes which operate as a unifying force within society. I believe music captures this collective consciousness, and it's the reason we all connect, and as Tom Petty said, heal and communicate through music. This is why some describe concerts as a religious experience. There's clearly something deeper. Now, to pull it back from the deep and abstract descriptions, I want to focus on three pillars of channeling your creativity and self-expression through songwriting: awareness, empathy, and detachment. The first is awareness. In quoting one of the greatest songwriters of modern times, I want to quote one of the greatest producers. Here's an excerpt from Rick Rubin's The Creative Act, A Way of Being. The gift of awareness allows us to notice what's going on around and inside ourselves at the present moment, and to do so without attachment or involvement. We may observe bodily sensations, passing thoughts and feelings, sounds or visual cues, smells, and tastes. We can expand our awareness and narrow it, experience it with our eyes open or closed. We can quiet our inside so we can perceive more on the outside, or quiet the outside so we can notice more of what's happening inside. We can zoom in on something so closely it loses the features that make it what it appears to be, or zoom so far out it seems like something entirely new. The key to awareness is clearing your mind. John Feldman told me he would spend hours riding his Vespa around LA. And this is when some of his best ideas or guitar riffs would come to him. Many artists benefit from meditation, yoga, or working out. Whatever you need to do to clear your mind, do it. Your primary goal is escaping the noise and distraction of everyday life. Take a break from social media and stop watching the news. Turn your phone off and go for a hike. Go for a late night drive with the windows down. If your environment is distracting you or you have a lot going on in life, you may need to change locations entirely. Take a vacation to a nearby city. Sitting in the studio may be the most convenient place to think of new ideas, but inspiration can strike anywhere. One strategy for still capturing these ideas when you're away from your instrument or your recording equipment is to carry a small notebook with you to record your ideas. Or you can hum a riff or melody into a voice memo on your phone. The second strategy for channeling your self-expression and creativity through songwriting is empathy. Empathy is truly placing yourself in someone else's shoes. When you're looking for inspiration, it can be helpful to explore other creative works such as movie, TV, and film, maybe a theatrical play. Once you establish the ability to be aware and simply observe, try to go a step deeper by deploying empathy. As you watch a movie, try to channel the main character's emotions and understand their decision-making. Think about what their wildest dreams might look like or what their worst fears might feel like. If you're looking for a more personal approach, think of a close friend or family member. Recall the happiest memory you have with them, or perhaps a tragedy that has impacted them. Write down a list of words or phrases that are attached to the feelings or thoughts that you think they might have experienced. Now describe this story in 3 to 4 sentences. Now you have the basis for a new song. If you're looking to go a step even deeper, try this exercise with yourself. As a songwriter, you probably already have, even if you haven't realized it. Music can be a form of therapy. When processing these memories or emotions, especially when they feel heavy, remember to have patience and compassion for yourself. Even processing someone else's experiences can be a draining feeling. Let the emotions flow freely. Don't filter or push back, but be sure to give yourself time to recoup after diving in deep. What might seem like a reversal, our third and final pillar of channeling creativity and self-expression is detachment. When channeling our awareness, our goal is to be the observer and not get too involved. Allowing yourself to remain in the moment requires a level of detachment. When we get too attached to ideas, feelings, or even objects, we lose our primary focus. Have you ever grown attached to an object? What about an intro that got cut from a demo or a song that doesn't make the record? Maybe it's a guitar you track all your songs on or a lucky mic you left at home. Take a step back and remember that art is best when the ideas flow freely. When ideas are being generated in the studio and critiques are being given, remember not to take anything personally. This is remaining detached. A judgment of a drum fill or a bass riff is not a judgment of you. Everyone is in pursuit of the best idea, not necessarily your idea. I want to wrap up this podcast by describing other ways that artists can boost their creativity. Artists can boost their creativity by writing regularly. One exercise is commonly referred to as a song a day. This exercise involves creating a whole or partial song every day and recording a demo. This can be a verse, bridge, and a chorus, or you can write the whole thing front to back. You can create a full demo in Pro Tools or record a voice memo on your phone. Another element that can and should be incorporated is co-writing. The best producers are often songwriters, and you'll find yourself writing with them in the studio. But remember to get together with songwriters outside of the studio. Don't write with the sole intention of putting a song on a record. Use co-writing as a strategy and a means of exploring new ideas. Try writing in the style of another artist or band. Remember, imitate, don't copy. But chord progressions cannot be copyrighted. So you can take chord progressions from one song and write a whole new chorus over it in another song. If you're doing this, it can help to change the key of the song to keep yourself from falling into the patterns of the original track. Ultimately, you want to learn how to never run out of good ideas. Remaining aware, deploying empathy, and remaining detached will allow you to jump from one great idea to the next. Thank you for listening. I am your host, David Key. I wish you well with your songwriting. Remember to be patient with yourself. Don't force it. And learn to love the process. I encourage you to subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel, and to visit yourbandisabrand.com Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next episode.